Okay, hello, engineering fam, and welcome to another episode of Elevated. I'm your host, the Elevated Engineer. So before we go ahead and get right into it, I need to do, of course, a sound check. So give me a second. Okay, cool, cool. Turn it off. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, as I'm sure many of you know, there was a story about a little boy being shot. But I am going to go ahead and cut right to it. So, just give me a moment. Right.
Shot a little boy. He walks free, making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
And I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Le-Nguyen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried hitting me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Caught a gun. Boom! Shot me right here.
It's all on video Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane. You'll see kids playing, hear a gunshot, then Kobe realizes he's hit. Le-Nguyen allegedly fired through his front window. The bullet went in Kobe's arm and out the other side.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing, right? What? It's pretty disturbing. Even watch that little kid having to go through that is it's kind of disturbing. Well, at least it is for me being an adult. But something I want to really kind of highlight. Um, Mainstream media hasn't even picked this up yet, which is fascinating because it's pretty terrible. Watch. The Boule media kind of picked it up the last couple of days, but I wanted to show my Twitter feed because shout out to the brother Tariq Nasheed because he initially put this up. He broke the story, which is necessary. So it's really quick. See, once Tariq Nasheed broke this story, I don't know how he be getting the information, but he got the information of the DA, right? As soon as he got the information of the DA, I hit the DA up, right? Directly on Twitter. And his name is like Eli Savit. Hope I'm saying that right. But as you can see, this motherfucker actually like blocked us, or he did protected tweets after we started going after him. But because I kind of understand how this stuff works, I took a screenshot before he did. So, I think you all could probably read that. But he actually posted the a video. His handle is Eli N Savit. It's at Twitter. But I sent him a tweet, a direct message, said, Mr. Savit, this is a situation that requires an immediate response. I'd highly suggest you revoke bail and upgrade your charges to this menace to society. The DA responds, the court set the bond, but we have filed an emergency motion to do just that. Revoked his bond, and we have charged him with the highest possible charges that are available under the law. Okay. So the good brother Tariq Nasheed, because he blocked that so you can't see the exchange, and I saved it, you can go back to Tariq Nasheed replied to both of us. As you can see, it says, you're unable to view this tweet because the account owner limits who can view their tweets. That's the DA. So Tariq Nasheed responds to both of us. He says, the courts are people, and people set bonds. And someone within the court system in your jurisdiction obviously devalues black lives to the point where they thought it was justified with having that low bail for a vile crime against a black child. This has to be rectified tomorrow. Now, why am I actually kind of talking about this? Okay. Compounded by the fact that the judge only gave him a $10K cash bond, it just further reinforces systemic racism. I forget the judge's name off the top of my head, but what the issue was, are there going to be any black laws, anti-black laws passed after this? Probably not. However, what they don't want, let me go ahead and get back to. All right. Now, however, what they don't want is 1 million plus black folks to descend upon this little shit town, whatever it's called, Yesplante. But honestly, it seems like I'm reporting more and more on this anti-black rhetoric and attacks since this administration came into office. It's only been like 6 months. So why is this important? This is important for a number of reasons. This exchange between myself, the DA, and people like Tariq Nasheed, because whether people like it or not, Tariq Nasheed represents the streets. All right, guys like Tariq Nasheed represent the streets, right? They represent the street niggas. So I mean, when it came across my desk, you know, I was like, yeah, hell yeah, damn this is some BS. But the truth is, brothers that are educated a lot of times don't represent the streets, and we need to be doing more because street niggas don't necessarily have the credentials, but we do. Excuse me. So when we work together, we get shit done. So, and that's my point. Like, in terms of with people like Tariq Nasheed, you know, he has his Hidden Colors documentary series. He has all this stuff, but you know, he's not a traditionally educated dude. He's a historian, but he's you know, a lawyer. Blah blah blah. I am. But I'm more like a warrior scholar. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in a cause. I'm willing to fight, die for that shit. For something I believe in. It's just how I came to be. So that's why I really want to highlight it. Because the DA only blocked us when I responded back. You can go right into it. And it says, I'm not sure who the judge is. We later found out who the judge was in this case. But he or she probably needs a 2 a.m. call. Mr. Savet, this needs to be handled swiftly, and it needs to not happen again. Now, you got these so-called, and I always talk about the black academics. You got these black academics who are just, as Kwame Brown says, part of the go along, get along crew. So when you're part of the go along, get along crew, you don't speak up. I ain't heard, you know, the Mark Lamont Hills or I mean, you know, I'm not gonna mention too many other YouTuber names, but you know, you don't hear the educated boule class really speaking on these types of issues until they get popular enough from the grassroots media. And like I said, we gotta do a better job of actually addressing this. Now, after this, the DA and the judge did indeed revoke his bail and raise the charges to well, I think it was attempted murder or something like that, but and I don't think he was allowed to go home. But that's honestly not enough. So my whole point is, when the street niggas and the non-street niggas come together, like, we can't be stopped. And that's what we need to do all the time. Like, we need to be able to come together on a whole host of issues, because when we're separated, we're weaker. The street niggas don't necessarily know the ins and outs of the law. You know, they're not gonna be communicating like, "Excuse me, sir. This is like how I said." Like, really what I was saying is, bruh, you need to handle this shit, or it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. But because I have tact, I know how to speak to white folks. Let's be honest. I can say, "Excuse me, but this issue needs to be addressed efficiently." You know, street niggas be like, "Yo, hey, nigga, we go blah blah blah." All right, cool, but you got to know how to communicate. You know, so the street niggas they ain't worried about communicating. They just want to see the results. And like, let's say the non-street dudes like myself, but who are thorough, we need to stop acting like bitches. Honestly, like, we need to start. We all black. This is. I've said this before. I say this again. This is a show for black people, but it's open to everyone. I mean, obviously, it's not a racist bone in my body, but this show is for black people. You know, so we have to find a way. Not even find a way. Just do what we know we're supposed to do, because this go along, get along shit, like, that's not it. We're not gonna get anything accomplished like that way. And because me personally, I'm an academic, you know, I'm here to teach, but, you know, we come from a long line of warrior scholars. Dr. Huey P. Newton was a warrior scholar. Dr. Martin Luther King was a warrior scholar. Dr. Claude Anderson, who's still alive, is a warrior scholar. Who else? Dr. John Henry Clark is a warrior scholar. Neely Fuller, warrior scholar. So when you come from that type of legacy, you can't be afraid to say what the fuck is going on, man. And you can't just rely on Tariq Nasheed. The good thing about Tariq Nasheed that he doesn't get credit for is Tariq Nasheed, because of how big his platform is, he has the ability to make shit go viral, like racial shit or whatever, which we need, because we need that shit to go all over the world. Excuse me. So, with that being said, next topic. Okay, so recently, shout out to the homeboy. Well, I don't know personally, but O'Shea Duke Jackson. He posted this a few days ago on his community tab, right? So let me go ahead and pull that up really quick. Whoop! Right? So from the meme, you kind of get like, I mean, geez, man, if memes could talk, but as we can see, you know, it says my culture is not your hairstyle, and it's a black woman, dark skin, with I'm assuming a fake, you know, blonde, platinum blonde wig on, talking to a Mzungu with cornrows in her hair. And it says a lot, doesn't it? So, it's interesting. So this Facebook post actually received a lot of a lot of traffic. And also salute to the creator. I'm not sure his name. If y'all know the creator's name, please post it in the comments. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. I appreciate it. So, back to the meme. So how does one define appropriation in 2021? Yes, I'm aware of the Melanesian people in the Solomon Islands. Why did I mention them? Because they're known to be black people with blonde hair. But let's keep it a buck. That ain't what this meme is describing at all. Okay, I've also heard the argument from black women that they'll say that this is what black men want in terms of the blonde hair, which is complete bullshit. Why? So we didn't see Black Panther? Okay, right. Niggas go smash if your chick is bald headed, she got purple hair, she got one strand of hair, she whatever. Man, we don't care. Fuck out of here. Right? The truth be told, white women sometimes braid their hair when they are either athletes or they have like very like active lifestyle. So what do I mean? Like you'll see a lot of times with like MMA girls or BJJ girls or like swimmers, whatever. They'll have their hair braided because it's easier for them, just like it's easier for any girl, you know, when to not get their hair all messed up when they're being active, right? But again, let's keep it a buck. There are certain white women that braid their hair when they want a certain type of attention. The black kind of attention. I mean, come on, man. Seeing modern, like, black women with platinum, blonde, purple, silver hair ain't unique at all. Like, it's honestly, when I see it, I'm just like, okay. You know, I live in Miami. Half the strippers and the female rappers been using this look for goddamn decades. I mean, come on, look at who the top rappers, female rappers are. So you got Megan Thee Stallion. I could just pull up the pics of them looking, you know, kind of crazy. Look like a damn marshmallow pie. Blonde, the platinum blonde hair, dark skin, looking crazy, right? So I can pull up the Megan Thee Stallions, I can pull up the Nicki Minaj, I can pull up the City Girls. I mean, really, Lil' Kim going back that far. I mean, this is a look that's been in black women pop culture for the last few decades. So let's not get this shit confused. So also we should really research how in Europe blonde wigs were assigned a class, right? They still are. So, you know, white woman with braids that actually looks good, kind of rare. It is. Like, okay, let's take. Remember Coco? Ice-T's Coco. At one point, I mean, you know, she got a little older now. She still look alright, but you remember how? Say what you will, dude. Say what you will. Like, but Coco look good as hell. Back in the day, you can sit there and lie. You can sit there and lie, but niggas was looking at Coco like, damn, like she look kind of, she look kind of thick, man. Niggas was not mad at Ice-T at all. I'm still not mad. You know what I mean? So, okay. You'll get the argument that says like, oh, okay, well, at one point, you know, sisters will wear braids and send secret messages and mappings for the Underground Railroad. Okay, and that's true. Okay, but that was over 150 years ago. Fuck out of here. These women now ain't sending no secret messages in they braids. Like, they just trying to show up the other chick. So that's bullshit again. Like, come on, are we gonna sit there and try to pretend that when sisters is wear blonde wigs, that is anything other than a fad or a trend or just trying to one up the next chick? That's all it really is. Who? Come on, you. Come on, you can't be dark skinned. Even when you light skinned, look weird. But it's like, you can't be dark skinned with this platinum blonde wig and then expect like brothers like, oh yeah, that's the girl I'm taking to the governor's ball. Like, nah, like, no, fuck, get the fuck out of here, man. So, I mean, honestly, I think that's what this meme, in my opinion, is about. I think that this meme is about black women not wanting or understanding that they must compete for the men that they want. I mean, honestly, every woman on earth has to compete for the man they want. And I believe, it is just my opinion, that black women, particularly black American women that descend from slavery, don't believe that they have to compete for the men that they want. Yeah, they think they got to compete for, the Chads and, these guys of different backgrounds, but black men, many don't believe that they had to compete, which is why, you see the white girl, listen, you see the white girl and she look bad like that, she wants attention from likely black men. It is what it is. So, the truth be told, this meme says a lot. And for many black women, that competition is a very hard pill to swallow. So, with that being said, moving on. So, final topic of the day. Excuse me. So, yeah, Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden revokes or replaces Trump order banning TikTok and WeChat. And I thought this was very interesting because, of course, this is elevated engineering. I'm always going to sneak in some technology stuff, man. Not all going to be nigga shit, right? So, let me put myself back up. I'll post a link to the article when I go ahead and upload that. But yeah, so Biden removed the Trump EO banning apps like TikTok, WeChat, and Alipay from U.S. app stores. Biden's plan. Okay, let me break it down. So Biden's plan is to implement a new framework when dealing with foreign countries or entities or what have you, in terms of how they regulate information being transferred. So Trump was like, we banning all that stuff from U.S. app stores, right? To an extent. And at the time, I agreed with Trump. Like, yo, listen, bro, like, we got to be careful with this type of stuff. Like, the Chinese Communist Party is not our ally. Like, when did that happen? No. So, I mean, and there's a difference. There's a difference between China and like Taiwan. There's a huge difference between China and Taiwan, right? But what Joe Biden's framework will focus on is the actual transactions, whether it be microtransactions or what have you, specifically transactions in regards to those foreign governments. So it makes it a little, actually makes it a lot weaker. And I gotta be honest, man. They always said that Trump was Russia or Putin's bitch, basically, or Putin's president. But I'm beginning to suspect that Biden is a Chinese Communist Party's president. Like, do we not understand that the CCP partially owns pretty much every company that comes out of China, or they have interest in every company that comes out of China? Okay, so the dangerous part about this is, first of all, we see the dangers of social media. Just social media is not going anywhere, but you know, we need to understand that companies like TikTok that come basically funded from China, they're going to use their information however they want. Now, they're also going to use their information however they want in Facebook or Google or even YouTube. I'm doing right now. But we pretty much know what Google wants. Google wants to, you know, take over the world. Whatever. They want to, you know. But there are also regulators for Google and Facebook. And every week, you know, or at least every few months, you're seeing, you know, the heads of these companies going and testify in Congress. TikTok doesn't need to do that. Yeah, maybe their U.S. representative does, but they don't need to do that. Alipay, which is probably from the Alibaba company, which is like bigger than Amazon. They're bigger than Amazon because they're funded by the CCP. Like, so I mean, we can lift these restrictions on China, but at the end of the day, the Chinese Communist Party, we've actually gone to war with them a couple of times. Maybe not out, you know, in front. Listen, it's well known that China was sending troops to Vietnam, and we still are technically at war with North Korea. And China was sending them troops into the Korean War, man. And I'm sure it goes deeper than that if somebody wants to do the work. But listen, Chinese Communist Party, which means the government. I'm not talking about every Chinese person. I'm talking about the government that runs China. It's not our friend. So when Biden is lifting these restrictions, man, it starts to get me worried, because you can say what you will about Russia, but we ain't never really gotten a war against Russia. In fact, other than a Cold War, which wasn't even really, you know, a war, Russia's been our allies. Hello, World War II, World War One, you know. Yeah, we got our problems now. Soviet Union before, Russia now, whatever. But Russia is, in my opinion, I think that Russia is more wary of the U.S. and what we'll do, because remember, the U.S. is the only country that ever really used nuclear weapons against anyone in Japan. But I think they're more wary of what we'll do than we are of what they'll do, because Russia has an old military, man. Yeah, they got their hacking game now, they got their cyber teams now, but Russia is an old military. China's on a rise. Granted, they're not rising as fast as they're making it seem in the media in terms of their economy. And actually, there are studies that show that their economy is somewhat stagnating. But again, you know, we've never actually got a war against Russia, not officially. So this makes me somewhat nervous, because TikTok is growing and has a lot more control over kids than I'm comfortable with. It's not just kids, it's adults too. You see the TikTok challenges, people are, doing what they do. But again, Facebook is not, owned by the Chinese Communist Party. In fact, they pretty much banned them from China. Neither is Google, same thing. Amazon, same thing. Listen, say what you will, okay? Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is a Nazi fuck, he's a jerk. Bezos is a megalomaniac. Okay, sure. Tesla is, Elon Musk, I should say. He's doing his thing. But, I mean, at least they're still American, bro. And by that, I mean they can still be regulated. And if they really want to, I mean, they're not going to. They can shut these companies down. You can't do nothing about TikTok or WeChat or any of these companies. Because, again, they come out of China. They're funded by China and Chinese Communist Party. So, I think we need to be very wary of this administration on more things than just how they are, treating black folk. Because we already know they ain't. So, with that being said, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, man. And again, thanks for watching another episode of Elevated. I'm the host, Elevated Engineer. Sorry, I thought that would be great. That's it.